How you doing, guys? Professor EDC with another surprise video. And this is a tag video that was started by Pete from Cedric and Ada Gear and Outdoors. And man, when this video came out, I was so eager and anxious and just so wanted to do the video. And it felt like when you're back in elementary school and you're going to play something, whatever, football, basket, or whatever, and the captains are choosing and you're just waiting to see when it's your turn, right? And one captain chooses the other one, and then you just see people go by and you're just waiting there waiting to be picked. And finally Nicolas Shabazz responded a comment, and he invited me to the party. And so thank you, Nick, and thank you, Pete, for this tag video. I think it's fantastic especially because of the moment that we are going through as a community. And it just comes to remind us why we are here, to enjoy this hobby and to share with our friends and with the community, and strengthen the community rather than separate, right? So I did everything I could to reduce the number, because at this point I've had to get rid of, because of necessity, I've had to get rid of more than 50% of my collection. And what I have now, I love all the knives that I have right now, and I use all of them, and or will use all of them, and that's the intention. And there are various reasons why I chose one or the other, but I reduced it to 5 and 2 honorable mentions. So let me begin with the honorable mentions. The first one being a rather strange one, and that's an axe. My love for blades or cutting tools started with axe. I spent some time in Spain, and I learned from a lumberjack how to cut down trees, the trees that were needed to being cut down, and just cutting wood in general, and making firewood. And so whenever I grab an axe, I know what the activity is, of course, and it's not like a pocket knife that you carry every day, exactly as an EDC, and you don't know when you're going to use it. So whenever I carry an axe, I know exactly what I'm going to do, and I love making firewood. I love that activity, and I'm moving the table too much. So anyways, that's my first honorable mention. The second honorable mention, and related to that, is a fixed blade, particularly this one. This is the Bark River Gunny, and I've had many knives, but this is the knife I think for me was the best EDC knife. Unfortunately, because of an insecurity and military presence in the cities and all, it's no longer safe to be carrying a knife like this. But this was my EDC knife, for a fixed blade knife, for a long time. And I love this knife. I know I'm going to do feather sticks and baton and just use the knife to whatever activity I was going to use. That's my second honorable mention. And the last honorable mention is this GEC, Great Eastern Cutlery, and I just forgot the model. I think it's the 84. Oh Oh my God! Well, anyways, it's supposed to be here, isn't it? Man, 86. There we go. It's the 86. And man, I was so lucky to get this blade in the secondary market, and it came perfectly. I wish the pull on it was just a bit stronger, just a bit. It's like it has a like an eight pull, perhaps 7.5. I would have liked an 8.5 pull, but anyways, it's just I love this thing, and I don't know a whole lot like many other people about traditional folding knives, about slip joints, and but I do know that I love them. I do know I have a couple of them, and it just brings me joy to see the knives that I have, how well they are made, and how different they are from the other folding knives, right? That air of nostalgia. It's, well, that's it. Those are the honorable mentions. Now, let's begin with, where should I start? Let's go just right, the three of them. The Trinity. It was so hard to get. I went through, so many unsavory moments, being discriminated, and had, just some people, of course, absurd and ignorant people say, what does a Mexican want to do with a Strider? Or, no. This is US made, and it's for US, so no, not going to sell to a Mexican. But at the end of the day, this brought me close to a couple of friends. This was sold to me by Metal Complex, and it took a year for this to get here, and not because of Robert, but because of I didn't know the safest way to get it to Mexico. Now it's easier, but it took a year to get here. So you can imagine that waiting time was it was worth it, and I love it. But let me say about the Trinity, when I was getting into all of this, into the hobby, into the knife world, and the first higher end knife I really fell in love with was the XM18, and particularly this version. So, and then I learned about the Trinity, and oh my God. Right there at that moment, I said to myself, I have to have the Trinity. And through many efforts, finally, I was able to put it together. And then this brought me closer to, because this was, I got it through Alchemy One, Clint, such a great person and such a generous person. It just reminds me all the time of gratitude, and effort. Putting the three together is just an effort in every sense on my behalf. And so the Trinity, the Strider SNG, the Sabenza 31 now, and the XM18, the Hinder XM18. It's every time I go to my knives, these three, I have to open them and close them at least one time. And I enjoy so much, yeah, because of the blades, but also because of what it means, you know, the gratitude and the effort, and that other people were involved in this. So, you know, that would be this would be number whatever, 5, 4, 3, in whatever order. They are equally as a Trinity, you know. I enjoy them as a Trinity equally. Of course, I do have my favorite, but that will come in other videos. Number 2. Yeah, we're going fast. We jumped fast. The Red Horse Hellraiser. Oh man. This blade took me some time to understand. It took me, you know, there are some blades that just, they take time to really sink in and understand them. And so the Hellraiser was a blade that took me a couple of weeks, if not more, to really get it. And once I got it, and I was close to selling this one, but you know, I held on and I held on and said, wait, observe, pay more attention, and in the end, it's still here. And I love this knife. It's like the Trinity, you know. Every time I go to the cases where I have my knives, I have to open and close this thing because it's just wonderful. It really is. And yeah, it's one of those blades that you either love it or hate it. And in my case, I was about, you know, I was this close to hating it. And I took some time with it till I was able to understand it and make a more objective decision, at least for me. And I love this knife. I enjoy it so much, and it just brings me a happy face whenever I grab any of these knives. And the last one is sheer beauty. And yeah, it's the Brian and Doe Ebo Typhoon by Riyadh. All blacked out, and man, is this thing just beautiful. The lines, the carbon fiber, the smoothness, everything in this blade is fantastic. I love every single part of it. And these blades will hopefully, if we don't have any emergencies, stay with me to pass on to next generations. But I just really enjoy these knives that I have shown you. And 14 minutes in, I want to tag, you know, because that's important to be tagged. And so I want to tag 5 people, and of course there will be an honorable mention as to who am I going to tag. And the first person is a good friend, Dirk Werning. I'm tagging you, buddy. I'm gonna tag Buff DeMarco, the knife junkie, and I hope they watch this, or else I'm gonna have to bother them through Instagram I'm going to tag Kevin Cleary, and of course I have to tag Alchemy 1 Clint. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm also going to tag Neve's Knives, but I want to tag both. I want to tag Kara and Jared. So it'll be 10 knives for them. Lucky them, right? And also my honorable mention, to bring some joy to his life, in just a very simple way, but this tag video made me happy. But I want to tag Brian Slicey Dicey. I think this is a fantastic way to be reminded of why we are here. And so I'm also tagging Slicey. There you go, guys. I hope you have enjoyed it, and hope you see you around, and comment and share and all that good stuff. I never mentioned that, but please do. Help me out in that way. Professor EDC out.